Hey everybody, how are you doing today? Can I talk? Sure. Can I see? Not so sure. Not so sure if I can see or not. How's the sound? There's that. Where's me? That's me right there. Look at that guy. Okay, hold on. I'm checking the sound. It's not working out. We got a shitty connection again. I hate it so much. I do. It's a thorn in my side. And I'm listening to this music, but there we go. Okay, so there I am. Yeah, took that long to find out. I've even muted it already, and it's still going. I said mute. Damn it. Oh, there it is over there. Oh, it started over again. Okay, the music's done. Okay, well then I heard my voice, so I know that it's a successful. It's successful. And look at there. Look at my face. I'm successful. I'm so successful. Okay, so here we are at the I'm not even going to show you this stuff. Look how fat I am there. Guess what? I'm even fatter now. Need to lose some weight. I'm trying. I'm working on it. Okay, so hey, hola, as you said in the chat. And speaking of chats, I was talking to GPT-4 chat and talking about this Visiting Atlantis documentary. Now, when I first asked it, it didn't understand. And then I asked it again, and it said it understood. Visiting Atlantis, the Eye of the Sahara Unveiled. In this groundbreaking documentary from the early 2000s, researchers and explorers investigate the Rashad Structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara. That's actually when Randall Carlson heard about the Eye of the Sahara 20 years ago. It's already 23, the early 2000s, let's say 2001. So there's this, and I don't even know if GTP chat got it right, but let's see if we can get it bigger. Let's max it out size-wise so we can take a look at what we got going on here. It says, Visiting Atlantis, the Eye of the Sahara Unveiled. Okay, so if we look this up right now, and I'll copy it, and I'll paste it. Let's get that out of there. Let's get that out of there. And we'll paste this. And what do we got? We got a nice concrete video going against Randall Carlson, but where's the Visiting Atlantis? I can tell you right now, it's on Gaia already. I can tell you, I didn't pay Gaia, but I watched it, and apparently it's on Gaia. All right, so didn't want to talk about that all night. Yes, I'm using the extension that helps me talk to ChatGPT. No, I'm not going to click start and start talking to ChatGPT live. That would be weird and probably not helpful. But I can tell you right now, everything's helpful. If you're looking at what my work is about, you'll see I've been to the Richat Structure, but I'm also about this. And by the way, yeah, let's talk about the Rashad Structure. Let's have 10. Sorry, did I say 10? 20 reasons that the Rashad Structure could be Atlantis. I did ask ChatGTP, GDB, whatever, GPT. I asked him, and he gave me these reasons. We'll talk about them right now. But don't forget, I've been there twice. I've been to the Rashad Structure. You haven't. Now look, there's 3 people that could be listening to this video right now that are going to say, no, I have been there. But you're not that person probably, right? So let's talk about the Rashad Structure and the ability. Okay, let's get rid of that. And 20 reasons why it could be the lost city of Atlantis. City meaning concentric circles, right? All right, so I'm looking at the the OBS, and I'm seeing the red flashing, and I thought I checked it, but that's the way life is in this stupid undisclosed location that I'm at right now. So I'm going to just get through these real quick, okay? But before I do, I'm going to just say one more time that Visiting Atlantis did a great documentary on it. Was it perfect? No. Did it make me go boing? Yes. Okay, I can't get rid of that. Circular concentric rings. So the Rashad structure 100% has these, and they're not perfect, but concentric rings that resemble Atlantis. Okay? Done. Size and dimensions. Wah! Sorry. Actually, I want to say now that the Rashad structure is actually about 4 times larger than what Plato said. So I don't know where this started. Visiting Atlantis said yes. I don't agree. 128. Where did that number come from? It doesn't matter, because what I measured was the dimensions in terms of stadia, which is what Plato wrote. So this is one thing against. Let's be very clear. The telephone game may not have started between Solon and Plato, because Plato, as he wrote, said that he still held the writings of Solon. However, that doesn't mean that the telephone game wasn't played between the Atlanteans and the Egyptians, which inscribed it onto the walls at the temple of Sais, right? Okay, where are we at? Who's here? Do we have chatting going on? I'm looking at the chats. I don't have anything going on here. I do have to thank Disravaja for saying hola, but other than that, I have no questions. And this is the type of video where you might want to ask some, because this is the type of video. First of all, I'm so done with YouTube. I'm so done with everything it's given me over these last how many years now? Well, it's 2023, so I've been on YouTube for 14 years. And it was only that same period of time ago that I discovered the Richat structure by being a Google Earther. But I have to tell you, YouTube doesn't play nice when it comes to topics like this. Usually a thumbnail with desert in it isn't very clickable. So where are we? Okay, we're green. We're green, bro. We're green. Look at that green. That's the green I'm talking about. So let's keep talking. Now, number 3. Number 2, Number 1, yang. Ding, 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 ding. Number 2, and number 3, proximity to the ocean. Now, a lot of people come at me and say, oh, the Rashad structure is so far away from the Atlantic Ocean. It's like, how many kilometers? Well, guess what? It's actually not a problem because of 2 reasons. Number 1, isostatic rebound. Isostatic rebound. No, I'm not a fan. But number 2, the Tamanrasset River was right there. So as far as the proximity to the Atlantic Ocean, yeah, it's important because of the way boats probably reached Greece during the war. Oh, I'm red again. I'm red. However, besides reaching Greece, the Tamanrasset had a river, and I do believe it was serving a great sea. And we can always look at that later, but I'm not here for that right now, although the geographical location is number 4. The Rashad structure is in the general vicinity of the Pillars of Hercules. Thank you. Thank you, because everybody's talking about beyond the pillars. Well, beyond just means on the other side. Okay, so you've got the Pillars of Hercules. And by the way, some people are talking about a different Pillars of Hercules. But I don't care. Because regardless of whether or not it was an ancient Saharan sea enterable by the lake that is right there, we should open up a Google Earth. I'm not going to, though. I'm saving my time. I'm saving my effort. Okay, why is Google doing that? I should probably close down the side video, which I've muted. Okay, anyways. Carthage could have been an entry point to an ancient sea. I don't know how much. I do wonder sometimes whether or not the Mediterranean would have been a separate lake from the Atlantic if it was 400 feet lower. So there are all sorts of questions, and we can ask them, but I go by what I've seen. Geographically, the Rashad Structure is in the vicinity of the Pillar of Hercules, and yes, the Taman-Rasset River must have been a part of that. Number 5, geological age. Okay, according to this, it's this consistent. Well, now this is where I have to talk about me and the types of questions I have about, the whole story. Plato said that it was created by Poseidon. Okay, so when you say the age is consistent, you're also talking about before Atlantis fell to their doom. You're talking about a place that existed before negative Atlantis. Atlanteans were losers. That's me. I'm saying that. Atlanteans were losers because they were so busy attacking Greece that they weren't able to recognize their downfall. Okay, so number 5, yeah, sure. Number 6, water channels. Okay, the presence of water channels within the Richat structure, and not just within, but without. Hi there, Ziggy Dan. I'm just going through this list, Can't expect you to stay here all night, but I'm going through this list of 20 reasons why and who generated this list. Well, don't say who, but what generated this list. Okay, so I was looking into the Visiting Atlantis documentary that Jimmy made reference to so many years ago now. What is it, 5 years or 4 or 5 years? I think it's 4. But I'm just going through what ChatGPT could come up with. Once it recognized that documentary, I said, okay, now give me 20 more reasons. And we're going to go through them right now. Now, as you know, I've been there twice. Please write your question, Ziggy Dan. Did you see the nubs in North America? Did you see those nubs? I've been watching videos. I'm looking, and I think you already know, but we have some Shia going on here in North America. Okay, let's just start with the Sage Wall. Now, sorry, I got to double check my info, but down here, where is he? I thought I had it right here. No? Okay, so he responded to me not in a private message. And who was that? I'm so good at names. So I'm just going to say it once I see it. The channel, not the guy's name. But if you take a look over at the... wow. How many names do I got here going? It's kind of weird because I thought I had it ready to go. Okay, look. If you take a look, and I just don't want to show the window. Oh, there we go. Wandering Wolf Productions. And Ziggy, I think you already know about Wandering Wolf Productions. But they just did a couple videos on North America. They're doing a lot more. And you posted it yourself. I see that message now. But yeah, I was amazed because honestly, you don't get a better wall than that inside North America. All right, where were we? I talked about geological age. Number 6, water channels. Okay, within the Richat, you see a shoreline. I've done a video recently about this. But not just within the Richat, but without the Richat. Outside of the Richat, there are shorelines and there are canals. If you don't believe me, check out my previous videos and take a look. It's kind of tough to go to all these places when you visit. But I was due a video, so here I am. Oh my God, that sage wall. Yeah, that video was incredible. I mean, come on. You see that and there's no way it's natural. I'm sorry. You know what natural looks like. That's not it. Possible harbor. Okay, now I do have a little bit of things to say about the possible harbor. We have to remember the Rashad structure does not have water leaving it right now. As far as a higher water level, maybe. But currently, the Wadan River just flows into the Richat Structure. But that being said, there is a big, huge sea on the north side of the Adrar Plateau. That sea disappears under the sand, and you can see the bottom. You can see the Playa Lakes. You can see how it was water, and you can see the shorelines. And on the south side, there's some questionable possible seas as well. And I don't have evidence of everything, so I'm not going to get into it. But I believe that there's water on both the north and the south. For sure, because there was a canal. How big that sea must have been in the south side, that's a good question. Okay, possible harbor, finished. Number 8, submerged structures. Okay, well, that's kind of interesting that ChatGPT came up with that. Submerged structures. Where is... Okay, let me move that back down. Okay, some researchers have identified submerged structures near the Rashad Structure, which could suggest a once coastal city. Okay, that's questionable. I don't know of any submerged, like right now, underwater structures at all. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I'm not going to start making stuff up. I don't know any submerged structures, except maybe what's out in the Atlantic Ocean, you know, the plateau of Atlantis, or the Plato's plateau. I mean, there's a couple of them out there, but I consider them quite small. I wouldn't, and they're very far away from the coast. So I don't know about number 8. That one is very questionable. All right, geological events. Some proponents argue that geological events such as earthquakes could have led to the destruction of the city at the Rashad Structure. I don't agree with that. I question the Guelb de Sebket, or Guelb El Sebket, I say it wrong all the time, located in the center of the Rashad Structure. I believe that it's a crater that's filled up because it was submerged. I'm not saying number 8 is any more correct, because currently there's nothing submerged, okay? Everything's sand. In the Rashad Structure, there's not a lot of submerged. Now, if they were previously submerged, then we have a chance to talk, because that's number 8. Number 9, I believe that it was a bolide event, not other events such as earthquakes. No, we're talking about something going on much bigger than that. All right, ancient aquifers. Okay, this is not something that I've done a lot of research. Presence of ancient aquifers in the region might support the idea of an advanced water management system in Atlantis. Well, that's interesting, and I don't know about those ancient aquifers, because I know what an aquifer is, and it is underneath the ground. It's a natural thing. But what I do know about that's above the ground are a bunch of canals. Canals that I've visited. And in addition to the ones I have visited, there's a bunch more that I have not visited, including one that goes directly towards the Rashad. Actually renewing my faith that the Rashad Structure was something. I'm not saying the Rashad Structure is man-made or intelligently made. You know, whether it was made by nature or Poseidon, I'm not talking about that. Okay, but what I am talking about is actual canals that I have found. Okay, number 11, mineral resources. Okay, water management. Okay, going back to 10, water management. I really believe that there's a lot of signs of it in the Rashad Structure. Okay, go all the way to the eastern corner of the Adrar Plateau, what looks like the corner of the eye, right? The corner of the eye has a 4-kilometer long canal. But over on the west side, there's a lot more. Number 10, finished. Number 11, mineral resources. Okay, the Rashad Structure contains a lot of minerals which could have been used for trade. Well, we do know that there is, and I can always pull up the pictures if I get some chats. The Nubian Aquifer. Thank you, Ziggy. I'll check into the Nubian Aquifer later. But I can show you right now that there was a quarry right in the middle of the Richat Structure. Okay? So you're not going to tell me that there wasn't mineral resources. I totally agree with this. The question of whether or not is the mineral resources that are mined from the quarries in the Richat Structure, which Graham Hancock says are hundreds of thousands of years old. Did I say that correctly? I can see them and I recognize them. And by the way, I found other quarries outside of the Richat nearby. Big ones, not just messing around type of quarries. 11, I totally agree. Number 12, connection to ancient trade routes. Yes, I believe the Richat Structure's location may have been strategically placed. Look at the ancient city of Wadan. When I walked through that ancient city, I put that video on YouTube. I tried sharing it again on Twitter. It didn't work out, but you can go to my YouTube channel, which is here, where you are now, and take a look at the longer videos I've done on the Wadan, and especially the ones I did in January of last year, a year ago, more than a year ago, a year and a half ago. Because those hit me deep. And not just the Richat Structure and Wodan, but Chinguetti was also a major trade route destination. And Chinguetti's right there. But if you go up north, a little closer to the Mediterranean Sea, you're going to find a lot more trade routes. So they were all over. And salt was a major traded resource. However, I have to say that I'm talking about a time that was probably way before that, because what was going on with the canals and the flood control that I found, that to me probably was way above and beyond any salt. However, they were probably looking for gold. They were looking for something. There was a lot of mining going on. And that was pre-Atlantis. So we're not talking about just a few thousand years ago. We're talking about more than 13,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago, maybe 100. And I do have some evidence that makes me say maybe 1,000,000 years ago. Okay, number 13, ancient petroglyphs. I don't care much about petroglyphs. Hi there, Oscar. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Ziggy. Again, I'll take a look at the Nubian aquifer, and you posted some info to Twitter. I'll check that out. Yes, my Twitter. I already showed my Twitter at Stigamup. Okay, where are we? Petroglyphs. I don't care too much about petroglyphs because I think we're looking at stuff that's much older. But I do believe that there are some petroglyphs that you can't ignore. And when you see them, you have to consider that some could be much older than others. And these billboards, these petroglyph sites, even just recently with Native Americans, what is known as Newspaper Rock, or in Utah, or other places where it seems like the petroglyphs are placed to let people entering the areas know not only are there people there, but there's sacred knowledge there. So I don't really care too much about petroglyphs, but at the same time, I do think that they can tell us something. Local folklore. Okay, the only local folklore that I got was about isostatic rebound that could have happened with the Tamanrasset River, where the Tamanrasset River changed and rose up and became dry. Well, I'm not a big fan of that, and I do acknowledge that it's a possibility. I just don't see how it could have been recent. But and the reason why I say that is because of the coast of Africa. Everybody knows that the coast of Africa very much coincides with the coast of South America. And a long time ago, they separated. The Google Earth map shows the ancient shorelines of Doggerland and Africa and many other places, even Taiwan. So those shorelines changed. But that being said, those ancient shorelines could still add up. I mean, they could have Phew. Still here. I'm sorry. I'm still here. Wow. Yeah, that was a screw up. What happened was I sneezed, and I thought I said I sneezed, and I undid that, and I guess I screwed up. I'm still here, and my question while I was muted was about the Mali Empire and their understanding of binary star systems. What is that one Mali group with a D? Yeah, thank you, Ziggy, for pointing that out. I would have talked for like half an hour without turning my mic back on. Thank you. But back to the question, what was that Mali Empire, the ones that recognized the binary star systems? And where else did I forget to talk? Anyways, life goes on. I think it, let me just back up. Petroglyphs I don't care about. Folklore, I have a couple of things, including that Mali thing. Cultural similarities, not really agreeing with the statement at all. I'd never heard of any. Dogon, thank you. Yes, the Dogon Empire recognized the binary star system, and everybody wonders. We could even ask. We can start a new chat. We can ask Chat GPT. Maybe we'll do that later. I've been using this talk to chat. It's pretty cool. I don't know if it'll work since I'm using my mic for the OBS function right now, but I love this. I had to re-download it. I gave up on it. If you check my Twitter feed, or maybe not Twitter, I was mentioning the fact that it stopped working. Now it's working again. She talked too much, to be honest, and there's no way to shut her down except for to click on it and maybe close the window. But anyways, I do like to talk to ChatGPT. I am paying for ChatGPT 4.0. I don't think I've had a big difference in output or whatever. Okay, so number 15 is out. 16, advanced civilization. Proponents argue that the complexity of the Rashad structure points to the possibility of an advanced civilization. Okay, not just possibility. I can show you. I mean, I'm gonna open it up pretty soon. I'm gonna show you some pictures, some downloads of definitely canal systems. Where are they? Let's see if they're here. I mean, look, this is something that I showed you years ago. And now I've got this other canal system. I'm looking for it. Is that it? No. Where is it? It should be right here. Wow, I'm going back too far. Okay, so it's not right here. Let me find it for you because I don't like letting my people down. Where is that? And by the way, it's almost finished. Time to start asking those questions. There it is. Even more canals cut through the Adrar. So, if you don't know about me, let's open this up big and make it big. I was there. Okay, I went there twice in last year. But over here you have two parallel canals. I do have the picture of those canals that I walked down, and I do believe they were a sign of something. Where is that? Okay, I lost it already. All right. But I've also found a canal that goes directly towards the Richat, right through the Adrar, right there. And by the way, that little dash is gone now. I put that together. There's other canals. Not the purple. Those are projections. Not the blue. Those are rivers that are probably dry right now with a little bit of water. I followed those rivers down. So those blue lines represent rivers going through the Adrar Plateau on the east side. So you've got the Atlantic Ocean over here, but you've got the river system on the right. Is it possible that there was an ancient sea right here? I totally think so. All right, let me get out of here. That was South Africa. I got what I needed. Canals, and by the way, these are not canals. These were some type of a weird lines. I made this, and over here it's crazy. Over here it's crazy. There's all sorts of haulage roads down in Lesotho and South Africa. That's the western coast of Lesotho. I'm sorry, it's not a coast. All right, so I talked about that enough. What else should we talk about? Canals were the ancient superhighways, especially of Atlantis, and especially with the Rashad Structure right there. Okay, so as far as number 16 goes, canals, advanced civilizations, and the roads, and the fact that the top of many plateaus have been ground down and mined and quarried. I'm not even going to get into that. Number 16, finished. Number 17, potential for agriculture. Yeah, you don't see a lot of potential for agriculture out in the Azores or any sunken plateaus in the middle of the Atlantis. But Africa, especially with its calamari canals, which seem to coincide with the Plato wrote about a matrix of canals that was bigger than anything that you can find out in the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, it was 400 by 600 meters. Kilometers. Okay, so 400 times 600 kilometers equals how many square meters? And those meters were supposed to have been divided up by 10 stadia. Did it say 10 stadia apart? Okay, now if a stadia is 600 meters, and by the way, maybe we could say that it's only wait, I forgot already. I've done this research before. It still doesn't mean that it's that close together. They're about a mile apart at least, maybe more. Kalahari Canals, take a look. They're all about a mile apart. And the wall that separates them is about 1/10 of a mile wide. Also found in Colorado and New Mexico. No problem. These so-called volcanic dikes are key, and we need to study them further because I can't accept it. Okay, we're moving on. Agriculture in Africa, yes. Look at Namibia. Look at what's going on in that desert. Look at South Africa. Look at all the countries in the Sahara. Look at what I've shown in forgot the name of the country already. All across the Sahara, Algeria especially, right? But it's all Chad. Chad has some very interesting things. So it goes all across the Sahara. Ancient water control. Number 18, magnetic anomalies. Okay, this is not something that I have a lot of information on. I've seen it. Some research has reported that the Rashad Structure has it. People have told me to take a magnometer with me. Not quite so cool. Don't know where I'd pick one up. I probably should have bought one. I heard you can put one on the phone and do it with an app. But the bottom line is that I got plenty more trips in me. So we'll do that next time. 19, similarities with other ancient civilizations. The Rashad Structure shares architectural and cultural features. What's this culture? I can't really agree with the word culture with ancient civilizations. Okay, that being said, yes, I can give you a lot of similar features that seem to share some characteristics that match. I won't get too into it. You check out my old videos, such as Minoans or ancient Egyptians. Well, I kind of disagree with that. I mean, where's the polygonal walls in the Richat structure? Where are the megalithic things? Well, if you take a look at my videos, maybe one reason why they don't match up is because it was all disintegrated by a blast, by a strike, an impact right in the center, creating the what do you call it? The crater that I visited and showed you. Okay, next, number 20, the last one. And now is your time to get your last minute questions in, because I didn't really want to talk all night. And I'm still getting red flashes from OBS. Unexplained structures. Okay, now, well, okay, wait, stop. Proponents of the theory point to various unexplained structures around the Rashad structure, which they believe could be remnants of Atlantis. Yeah, I agree with that, around the Rashad structure. But if we're talking about the castles that I visited, the different formations inside the Rashad, I disagree. No, those are not ancient. They're not ancient. We're talking about the 3 castles and the other fortifications, especially the one I visited on the east side near the quarries that are inside the Rashad structure. Those are not old. I visited them. I can see them up close, those structures. But wait, number 20 here doesn't talk about inside the Rashad structure. It talks about around the Rashad structure. So there you go. I agree with that, because I can give you structures everywhere, mainly in the form of canals. The Rashad structure itself is a big old red flag. And of course, don't forget, we've got all the quarries that are all over the place. So it's true, the Rashad structure doesn't have a lot inside. But in my opinion, it was part of the terrible, terrible cataclysmic barrage of impacts that were not just happening in Africa, but also happening in North America. I believe those impacts, I mean, take a look at the Carolina-based survey and see the impacts yourself. Those were from something that came from the earth, right? So an impact happened that caused all those. Probably whatever caused the Great Lakes, or the big old circles you see up in Canada, or both. Guys, the Carolina-based survey is a smoking gun, but we had something going on before all that happened. And I can show you that in North America as well. New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, probably Arizona, a lot of ancient mining going on in that neighborhood around the Colorado River. Probably my next video. Thank you all for showing up. Definitely going to play you some tunes on the way out. I like that tune that I played on the way in, but you know me, I'm a creature of habit. Thank you for coming, and have a nice evening.